Hi guys, today I wanted to talk about my favorite concealers, my top 5 favorite concealers. As you all know, I am constantly on the hunt for concealers and I'm testing different ones out only because it does not matter how much I have slept, how rested I am, how healthy I am. The circles under my eyes in the morning are beyond brutal. I always say that I look like I've been sacked in the face first thing in the morning. And I do. So concealer is my best friend. I will not leave the house without wearing concealer, and for that reason have tried many different brands, products, and things to see what might work for my skin, what will work in general, and what has longevity. So I thought I'd share that with you guys because I know a lot of women out there have a difficult time finding a concealer that works for them and one that will have the staying power and won't cake and all that kind of good stuff. The very first and top #1 favorite of mine is MAC's Pro Longwear Concealer, and I've used this in numerous tutorials. I've showed this a couple of times. This concealer is fantastic. Just like the name Pro Longwear, it does stay a really long time, about 16 hours, and you only need one pump of, because it does come in a pump bottle, you only need one pump to cover both of your eyes and you're good to go. The great thing about this too is of course you can use the concealer on the rest of your face as well for touch-ups. I prefer it for just under my eyes and find that it does the trick. I think the concealer retails for about $32 and it does last quite a long time. You can apply it with your finger or brush. I prefer to use my Pro Longwear with the blending brush, which you can see it's dirty right now. I just find that it's really easy for getting liquid concealers into the corner of my eye and blending it really smoothly. So that is what I personally prefer for myself. So this is numero uno. Mwah. For those of you that have not tried it, you need to do so. #2 on the list is my Bobbi Brown Concealer. This was actually one that I had tried because of Lauren Curtis on YouTube. I know probably many of you watch her videos. She's fantastic. They have both a corrector, which I know is not a concealer, but I'll show you, that comes in smaller containers. And then they have a concealer that comes with the concealer itself and then a powder to go over top to set it. Most creamy concealers do require some kind of setting powder beforehand, just to make sure that it stays in place and doesn't crease a whole heck of a lot. And oftentimes it can be difficult finding the right powder to go over top of your concealer, just to make sure that you're not changing the color or making your under eye circles darker as a result of putting the wrong powder over top of your concealer. So these little packets are great from Bobbi Brown, and their concealer is extremely creamy, which is why I love this. When you are using a creamy concealer, if your skin is dry, which mine is, you have to make sure that you're putting some kind of hydrating cream on prior to putting the concealer on. Otherwise, you will get the creasing in your eyes during the day. And I mean, everyone laughs, smiles, chats, obviously is animated with their face, and you don't want the lines showing from that. So my #1 holy grail beauty item to go along with that is their hydrating eye cream. It's just basically a moisturizer, but I find some of the facial moisturizers that I've had in past tend to be a little bit heavy and don't quite work under my eye when I'm going to apply makeup over top. This one, I don't know what the formula is, but it's beautiful. And there's the front of it. It just says hydrating eye cream, that's all it's called. Enriched mineral water and aloe vera. That's what it says on the bottom of it. Fantastic though, so I always put this on regardless of whether I'm putting cream or just a liquid concealer on before in the morning. But definitely if I'm applying a creamy concealer, especially the Bobbi Brown ones, these two go hand in hand for me. They are phenomenal. Next on my list for creamy concealers is the MAC Pro Longwear palettes. Again, something I've been using in my tutorials with you guys. This one I like not only for under the eyes. This is the light palette. They do have light, medium, dark, and I don't know if there's a very dark or deep. There may only just be 3, I can't remember. But you can see this one has been well loved. And the reason I enjoy these ones is because depending on whether I'm tanning a little bit and kind of in between color, or I don't know, if my dark circles are really dark, there's a lot of correcting colors in this palette that can help you put a corrector on first before your concealer. And this palette is my go-to for touch-ups on my face after I've applied my foundation. If I see a lot of dark spots still, or something just needs to be kind of amped a little bit or hidden a little bit more, this is my go-to palette for that. This concealer is fantastic. It is very creamy, and I don't find actually that it lasts all day, which I think is a downfall of some creamy concealers. But if I do put a powder over top, like MAC's Mineralized Skin Finish, or I don't know, any kind of setting powder over top, it seems to do the trick and it'll stay no problem. But this palette is fantastic. I have it both in the light and medium, again, in case I'm self-tanning, because I like to do that. This is my go-to because I can't get enough of it, and like I said, it's so versatile and so useful for so many reasons, so definitely try this out if you haven't. I can't remember the exact price, but I do believe this one went for about $42, but it's been a while since I purchased these ones, so if you want, you can go on MACcosmetics.com. I know they have these on there, so check it out. The other concealer and corrector that I like is actually it's supposed to be a treatment corrector for dark spots and so on, but it's the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind treatment corrector. It's got vitamin C and goji berry in it. I really like this. This one is in light, and I just find that the applicator at the top, which is just a little sponge, is really smooth for applying under your eye. So it has a really nice application that way, very rich and smooth, and it's a very thick application. The colors are great. They've got a light, medium, and dark. I don't know if it goes beyond there, but it's great for, again, touching up dark spots. Fantastic for an under eye concealer. I do find this has a wonderful staying power, and the price range is great. It's a drugstore buy, so you can't go wrong with that. But I really like this one. The only downfall with the light is that it is a warm base, which isn't bad, but when you're correcting, you want to do the opposite. So for me, I have warm skin, so I always want something cool when I'm correcting first and then applying concealer. So normally that's why I often use this one as a concealer instead, because it is very warm. And I'll correct maybe something with my MAC palette that I just showed you guys, and then dab this over top to conceal what I've corrected for dark spots or whatever else on my face. But this one is fantastic for those of you that may or may not have given it a try. And like I said, this is their corrector, not the concealer, but I use it as a corrector and really highly recommend it because it's great, and like I said, lasts all day. The last of these little beauties that I like, and it's the one that I least reach for, and I'm not sure why, but because it is a good product, and that is the Benefit Boing concealer. And I'm not really sure what it is about this concealer that I don't like as much. I think for some reason I don't know, I find it's not as creamy as MAC and Bobbi Brown, and I don't find that this product in particular lasts a long time. Maybe it's in particular because I'm picky about my under eye circles, again, because I have so many, but I like my products to last a long time. This, while it's on, especially when you first freshly apply it, looks absolutely beautiful, but I find within 3 to 4 hours it's not quite as vibrant, or it doesn't really conceal as well as it did, you know, when I first applied it. But having said that, it is a really great concealer. It does do the job. So maybe if you're using this for a night out and you're only out for a couple of hours, this is fantastic. Or for those of you maybe that don't have such dark under eye circles and you just need something kind of light to dab on, because some of you, bless your hearts, you don't really have dark under eyes. I'm so jealous. This would actually probably be perfect for you. So that's why it's still in my top 5. It is a really beautiful product, really well made. It's just the longevity that I wish it had, that it doesn't really for me personally. Those are my top 5 concealers. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your concealers are. I'm always on the hunt for more, so if you have some that are really good and you think I should know about it, or I would love to hear about it anyway, please comment below, let me know. And otherwise, I will see you guys next Thursday. See you later.